Are you looking for an awning for your vehicle? There sure are a lot of options out there, and boy, can they get expensive. We found this one for under 150 US dollars, and in this episode, we're doing a brutally honest review on this VEVOR vehicle awning. How difficult is it to set up? What's the quality like at this price point? Stay tuned and we'll tell you all about our experience with this cheap vehicle awning. We're the Popple People. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new, welcome back. Now, the reason we picked up one of these is because we're planning to do some camping and boondocking out of our SUV. The thinking here is that by adding an awning, even if it's raining, we'll still be able to get in and out of the back of the vehicle without the mattress and bed getting rained on. So we don't need anything huge or fancy for this. So we just bought the smallest vehicle awning option from VEVOR, and it cost about 100 US dollars. This was by far the cheapest option for one of these awnings. The pricier brands cost several $100s more. Just too much for us to justify. So let's see what about $100 gets us here. We opted for the 4.6 foot by 6.6 foot awning, which is about 4 foot 7 inches by 6 foot 7 inches. This is the smallest size offered from this particular brand. Again, we went small because we just didn't feel like we'd need any of the larger sizes. Okay, so let's start with what's all in the box. The awning itself comes in this zip-up PVC bag. It feels like the kind of material those thick rubber rafts are made of. And per VEVOR standard, it is branded with their name in giant lettering on there. We could do without that, but I guess we're stuck with this eyesore on the side. Next, there's a little bag of parts and pieces. This contains all the nuts and bolts and brackets that you'll need to mount this on your vehicle roof, as well as the guy lines and stakes for setting it up, and of course there's an instruction booklet. Let's take a look at the booklet here first. So pretty much all the reviews that we read online complained about the instructions being too vague. Honestly, I don't know, it looks fine to me. It's straightforward and seems plenty sufficient to explain how to set up this awning and mount it to your vehicle. Now keep in mind, every vehicle will have a slightly different mounting variation. It's designed to mount onto your vehicle's roof rack, so your mounting setup might not be exactly the same as ours. Okay, so that being said, we're putting this awning on an older Ford Escape that has a roof rack setup. So there's the original vehicle roof rack that came with the Escape from the factory, and then there's another rooftop cargo carrier that Tater already mounted on the roof, and that is attached to the SUV's factory roof rack. We're going to be mounting this awning to the rooftop cargo carrier, though it can be attached directly to the factory roof rack as well. Ours just happened to work out better this way. It was easier to affix it to the cargo basket instead. So Tater figured out where these L brackets would best fit into our existing setup, and that involved drilling just one hole for each L bracket through the cargo carrier tubing, and then sliding the longer end of the L bracket into the mounting bracket for the cargo carrier. This is actually surprisingly sturdy and it fits tight. Looks and feels like it'll be really well affixed to our existing roof rack setup. So by attaching our awning to the cargo carrier instead of the factory roof rack, the awning will actually sit up about an inch or two higher, and that extra headroom is going to be convenient for Tater because he's taller than me. And also because of this, our total height from the ground to the top of the awning will be about 6 feet, so plenty of room to stand up straight. Okay, so this is all ready to affix to the L brackets that are already on the roof. Now these two tracks on the back of the awning line up with the holes on the shorter leg of the L brackets. Now let's pop this end cap off and slide the bolt heads into these two tracks, 2 bolts on top and 2 bolts on the bottom. And then we'll space those out here in a minute once all 4 bolts are in, and then just be sure to pop that end cap back on when you're done. So Tater will just pop this up here and drop the bolts into the corresponding holes. Now we're just doing a dry run here, so we're going to see how everything fits together and the height and check all of that kind of stuff. So Tater's using just regular nuts, not the lock nuts, to assemble the unit now, just for ease of installation and to ensure everything fits properly. And then he's going to go back and install the lock nuts that actually came with the kit for our final assembly. So, all right, here's what we've got. Looks good. It's on there tight. Let's take it for a quick test drive here and just see if there's any like weird wind noise or anything from having this mounted on the roof. Sounds okay. At least it doesn't seem to have any significant extra noise inside the vehicle. All right, well, let's get it set up here and see how long this process takes and how difficult it is. Overall, this process definitely goes better with two people setting up the awning. Now, you could do it yourself, but it's very easy and quick with one person unfurling the awning and the other person diddling with the arms and legs, those vertical and lateral support poles. So these arms swing out and then telescope from the bag here, and then they'll slide into corresponding holes on the end of the awning. And then twisting those arms will lock them out in that extended position. Now I should mention these feel cheap, like just flimsy, and I'm worried about their longevity. I feel like this is something that could possibly break, and we're just going to have to wait and see how it holds up over time. This is just our first impressions of it. Now the legs are tucked up into the end of the awning here, and they swing down and then also telescope down to the ground. These appear to have that same twisting lock mechanism that the arms had. Again, we're worried about how these are going to hold up over time. This is the same kind of mechanism that you see with those telescoping trekking poles for hiking, where you like extend it out and then twist it to lock it into place when you have the length you want. And I've seen so many of those trekking poles like this fail, which is why we're a little bit worried about the arms and legs in this awning. And finally, there's a couple of guy wires that will attach to the end of the awning here and then stake into the ground. All right, so there it is, our cheap vehicle awning from VEVOR. Well, what do you think? If you'd like to get a hold of us with questions or comments, please email us at thepopplepeople, all one word, @gmail.com. Or you can flip-flop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So, first impressions here, it does set up pretty easily, and it definitely goes faster with two people. The arms and legs, though they're okay, they do seem cheap, made out of lightweight materials, and that twisty locking mechanism, we'll see how those hold up. Now the awning itself, like the actual material, the fabric, that seems fairly thin and it kind of looks a little fragile. Definitely be careful when you're undoing the Velcro straps. It really feels like if you pull too aggressively, you could potentially like rip or tear the awning material. And you can even see here, just from where it was stitched, you can see a visible tiny hole there already, and that's right out of the box. The biggest con is really just overall durability and sturdiness, the arms and legs in particular. We'll just have to, wait and see how these hold up over time. Now there is one other purpose we'd like this awning to serve when we're camping. We'd like to be able to use those arms as part of our off-grid shower system. Like if you unvelcro the awning from the arms, you can slide a shower curtain onto each side, and then we're just going to use a magnet to affix the curtains to the vehicle, and we're hoping that this will work for boondock showers. If that boondock shower system seems like something you'd be interested in seeing, definitely drop it in the comments here and we can make a video about that. Okay, now that we've tried that shower setup, let's see how this tears down. So you're going to remove the guy wires first and then retract the arms and legs and stow those all back in their pertinent places. And then you're going to roll up the awning, and that's really all there is to it. Velcro the roll back into the base in the bag and you're all set. And then zip up the bag and you're ready to hit the road. Quick, easy, really what more could you ask for? And in case you're wondering, just a few other specs on this. We got the smallest size that VEVOR offers, and this comes out to about 4 foot, a hair over 7 inches by 6 foot, and just a hair over 7 inches. It weighs in at just a little bit under 15.5 pounds, about 7 kilograms. And when it's all rolled up, the dimensions of the bag are about 6 feet by 6 inches, about 55 by 15 centimeters. So it doesn't take up a ton of your roof space. The height of this awning is also adjustable anywhere from 3.5 to 7 feet tall. And the canopy material is a type of polyester fabric with a water coating applied to it that is supposed to prevent water seepage. Well, We hope this vehicle awning does what we need it to, and hopefully you found this video informative and that it helps you decide on whether an awning like this would work for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that thumbs up, and we'd sure appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to our channel. Just tap that colorful circle on the screen, and that way you can be a Popple People too. We'll see you soon.